and welcome. I am Maryam Osiri, a Human Resources Management graduate student at Fanshawe College. In the next few minutes, I'll be sharing some of the realities that exist in the field of human resources management as it relates to the introduction of artificial intelligence. The question is, are human resource professionals being replaced by artificial intelligence? As you know, AI has transformed human resources management, which has led to the automation of several processes. What this means is that if it will take 10 people, 10 professionals to carry out a task before now, with AI, we have the same task, but 3 people will be needed for that role or for that particular task. Does this then mean that AI is replacing the professionals? So let's take a look at some of the traditional HR roles versus the AI roles that we now have. So take, for instance, the recruitment and selection is now being done by applicant tracking systems. Take a look at the onboarding and orientation programs are now being done by virtual onboarding assistants. Performance management is being done by predictive performance analysis system, and then compensation and benefits is now being taken care of by compensation software. Okay, so essentially what this means is that companies are trying as much to automate processes, including HR tasks, right? So, but the problem now is schools are churning out human resource professionals and students, or graduates if you like, while the employers, on the other hand, are looking for ways to automate some of the tasks that human resource professionals are doing. That is the dilemma, right? So a report by PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, in 2020 reveals that 75% of HR leaders think that their roles will change with artificial intelligence and automation. Now, about 7% think that HR roles cannot be fully automated, right? So this now brings us to what exactly are some of the skills that these employers are looking for with the introduction of artificial intelligence. They are looking to have applicants or employees who have skills in the use of Excel or data analysis tools. They're also looking for people who know how to use document management softwares, workforce timekeeper, electronic mail software, HRIS, office management. These skills that I'm listing are some of the skills that have been identified by ONET, which is a platform that usually lists job descriptions for job applicants. Okay, so these are some of the technological skills that they expect an average HR graduate or professional to have. It's also interesting to note that about 70% of HR professionals use data analytics tool for their decision making. This is based on a report by Randstad in 2021, and 60% of HR professionals they're familiar with HRIS. This is according to HRPA. And some of the other examples of these softwares are Power BI, which is for data visualization, and we have Microsoft Dynamics, then Excel. 89% use Excel for data management. What does this mean for HR professionals? It means that without these skills, it will be hard to fit into the role of an HR professional. And now this now brings us to some of the challenges that HR professionals or graduates face in landing their roles. Okay, so some of them include limited knowledge of technological skills, which is where employers usually base their assessments on. So when an HR applicant applies for a role, the employer is keen to know how much of these technological skills that they have, absence of which they are not able to secure that role. right? Then there's the lack of skills in the use of digital communication. This is closely related to the first one. This can hinder efficient management of people, and employers are also looking out for this. But then when a student or a graduate or a professional doesn't have these skills, it poses a challenge to how fast such candidates can be employed. Limited knowledge in data security and privacy may cost the company. So when HR professionals lack this knowledge or skill, it limits their possibility of being employed. Okay, so then limited exposure to field experience. You see, when students are exposed to the hands-on practicals, it helps them to learn some of these things that are being learned in school. But when those field experiences are not there, it limits how efficient such candidates will be in the workplace. Okay, so with this, one can say that artificial intelligence has not come to replace HR professionals. Rather, it's complementing them, and this allows HR professionals to focus on primarily enhancing leadership through strategic projects. It also helps them to focus on implementing employee well-being, use of emotional intelligence, using interpersonal skills to promote cohesion, and also using their skills in change management, right? In other words, before HR professionals can fit into roles that have been crafted for them, they need to be tech savvy in a way, and they also need to participate in certain activities. So by way of recommendation, personal development is key for any HR student or graduate to fit into the current HR role as is in demand. Okay, so use of softwares such as Workday, SAP SuccessFactors, Bamboo HR, learning how to use these softwares are important. However, the challenge with this is that most of these softwares are paid. So a graduate might not see the need to invest in it just for the sake of learning the skills or how to use it, which is why it is highly recommended for HR students to be scheduled for a cooperative program, which should be applicable to all students. That way, they are able to hone their skills, and this will be done with the supervision of whoever the employer or the mentor is and the professor during the life cycle of their studies. It's able to assess their skills with the field experience. So in doing that, they're able to fit into these roles as it demands. Studying data privacy regulations and learning basic cybersecurity concepts are also essential so as not to expose potential employers to risk of litigation as a result of maybe very, very minute mistakes that could have been avoided. Okay, mastering digital communication tools is also important because in this era of the growing trend of remote work, HR professionals are expected to function in line with some of these roles so that they can manage people effectively and efficiently. Lastly, joining communities like HRPA, which has been talked about so much in this class, is very essential because this helps students, graduates, professionals alike to stay updated with the current trends. Thank you for listening.